By age 80, nearly half of your muscle mass may be gone. And not because you're old. It's because your body hasn't been told to keep it. This isn't just normal aging. It's sarcopenia, a silent condition that slowly strips away strength, balance, and independence. But here's the truth. It's not inevitable, and it's not too late. Muscle loss isn't your body giving up. It's your body waiting for a signal to fight back. Today, we'll show you the simple daily habit that can flip that switch and help you reclaim the strength you thought was gone for good. Sarcopenia may sound like a life sentence, but it's not. Losing strength with age isn't a rule. It's a reaction to inactivity. The truth? Your muscles aren't vanishing. They're waiting for a reason to rebuild. Studies from top universities show seniors can gain strength, mobility, even muscle mass, often in just weeks. You don't need to lift heavy weights or follow complicated routines. What you need is the right kind of challenge, done consistently and safely. When you give your body that nudge, it responds, no matter your age. Muscle loss isn't the end. It's the signal for a new beginning. Muscles don't just vanish overnight. They fade quietly from disuse, chronic inflammation, hormonal shifts, and a lack of proper stimulation. If your body doesn't get the signal to rebuild, it assumes you don't need strength anymore. That's when everyday tasks start to feel like uphill battles. Progressive resistance training, but not like you think. If you've been told to just walk more to fight muscle loss, here's the truth. Walking is great for your heart, but it won't rebuild lost muscle. What actually works is something called progressive resistance training. But don't worry, it's not about lifting heavy weights or spending hours at the gym. Progressive resistance training means gently but consistently challenging your muscles so they get stronger over time. The key word is progressive. Your muscles need increasing resistance, not just repetition. That could mean going from wall push-ups to counter push-ups, or adding resistance bands to your chair squats. It's about making movements just hard enough that your muscles say, okay, I need to grow stronger. And here's what makes this habit so powerful. It activates the very biological switches, anabolic signals, that tell your body to build new muscle fibers. That's something walking, water aerobics, or using the same light dumbbells for years simply can't do. A 2022 study from Tufts University found that older adults who trained to mild muscle fatigue just twice a week gained more strength than those working out 5 days a week at low intensity. You don't need to feel sore. You don't need to lift anything heavy. What matters is this. Work to the point where your muscles feel like they've had enough. Then rest, recover, and repeat. This moment of muscle fatigue, not pain, is the spark for growth. So whether you're using a resistance band, pressing into a wall, or standing slowly from a chair, make it count. Track your progress. Add seconds, reps, or a little more resistance every few weeks. This isn't about being extreme. It's about being smart. Because even at 75 or 85, your body is still listening. And with the right habit, it will respond. It's not about more reps. It's about more challenge. If you've been doing the same light weights or chair exercises for months and wondering why your strength hasn't improved, it's not because you're too old. It's because your muscles have adapted and they're no longer being challenged. The key to rebuilding strength after 65 isn't doing more reps. It's doing smarter reps. Muscle doesn't grow from movement alone. It grows when that movement reaches the point of gentle overload. In other words, when your muscles start to say, "That's tough. I need to work for this." That's when real change begins. You don't need to push yourself to exhaustion or pain. In fact, That's the mistake many seniors are told to avoid. But the opposite, never challenging your muscles at all, is just as dangerous. When you stop pushing even a little, your body assumes it no longer needs strength. And once that happens, you lose muscle faster than you think. Research from McMaster University found that older adults who trained to momentary fatigue, even with light resistance, saw greater strength gains than those who worked out more often with no effort threshold. Momentary fatigue means you stop the set not when it's easy, but when you can't do another rep with proper form. This is where intentional resistance training stands apart. The goal isn't 20 reps with no struggle. The goal might be just 6 to 8 reps, but with enough effort that the last one feels like your limit. That's the sweet spot for muscle signaling. And you don't need weights to get there. You can challenge yourself using body weight, resistance bands, or even timed isometric holds, like pressing your palms into a wall or lowering slowly from a chair. If it feels too easy, increase time under tension or reduce rest between sets. Bottom line, progress isn't about how many times you move. It's about how much it makes your muscles work. Give them a reason, and they will respond, no matter your age. Real stories. Seniors outperforming 40-year-olds. Still not convinced this works? Let's look at the real-life proof. People scientists call superagers. These are seniors in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who outperform people half their age in strength, balance, and daily function. And the one thing they all have in common? They train their muscles with intention. They don't spend hours in gyms. Many don't even use weights. What they do is simple. They progressively challenge their muscles, consistently. One 12-week study from the University of Texas found that older adults who did basic resistance training gained over 1 pound of lean muscle and saw significant improvements in mobility. One participant, a 76-year-old woman, said she could finally get off the floor without help, for the first time in a decade. Another, a man in his 80s, regained enough leg strength to walk without his cane. These aren't extreme. And it's not just muscle. These superagers also see improvements in blood sugar control, bone density, joint stability, and even brain function. Why? Because resistance training doesn't just change your body, it activates PROT. If you're wondering whether you're too late to start, consider this. A study from the University of Alabama showed that first-time exercisers in their 80s gained up to 3.3 pounds of muscle and increased their strength. These results aren't magic. They're biology, triggered by consistent effort. Superagers aren't superhuman. They just made a decision to keep moving, to keep pushing, and to refuse the myth that strength fades with age. The question isn't whether your body can still grow stronger. It's whether you'll give it the chance. 5. Mechanisms that make muscle rebuilding possible at any age. You've heard the stories, seen the results, but how does it actually work? How can someone in their 70s or 80s rebuild muscle that's been fading for years? The answer lies in 5 powerful biological mechanisms that still function in older adults. If you know how to activate them, let's break them down. First, reversing anabolic resistance. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to signals for growth. This is called anabolic resistance. But resistance training can override that. According to the Journal of Nutrition, when you challenge your muscles through progressive effort, their sensitivity to protein and repair signals dramatically improves. That means your post-workout protein shake is actually useful again, even in your 70s. 2. Activating longevity genes. Muscle contractions, especially under controlled resistance, don't just build strength. They also activate powerful genes linked to cellular repair and longevity, such as FOXO and sirtuins. Harvard researchers found that these genes help your body preserve muscle tissue, regulate inflammation, and trigger protective responses across multiple organs. Think of them as the firefighters of aging, and resistance training is how you call them to action. 3. Fighting. Inflammaging chronic low-grade inflammation, often called inflammaging, silently breaks down your tissues over time, especially muscle. The good news: every time you engage your muscles, they release myokines, natural anti-inflammatory messengers. Tufts University studies confirm that regular strength training significantly reduces inflammation, often more effectively than medication. You're literally calming your immune system with movement. 4. Triggering muscle protein synthesis, MPS. Muscles don't grow during exercise. They grow after, during repair. But that repair process, known as muscle protein synthesis, only activates when muscles have been adequately challenged. And here's the best part. Just 10 minutes of targeted resistance work can elevate MPS for up to 72 hours. That's 3 days of rebuilding from one smart session. 5th, reconnecting brain to muscle signals. The neuromuscular connection, your brain's ability to talk to your muscles, fades with age. But resistance training rewires it, especially when using compound movements like chair squats or wall push-ups. You force your brain to coordinate balance, timing, and force. A study from the University of Michigan shows this can actually redeclines in reaction time and coordination, essential for fall prevention and daily function. When these 5 systems work together, your body becomes a muscle-preserving, inflammation-fighting, brain-boosting machine. And the trigger isn't youth. It's action. Muscle building isn't about age. It's about activation. And that choice is always in your hands. Your 10-minute strength habit starts here. So now you know muscle loss isn't fate. It's a message. The question is, how do you respond? You don't need a gym membership, a personal trainer, or fancy equipment. What you need is a plan that's simple, safe, and effective, and one that fits into real life. That's why we call this the 10-minute strength blueprint. A daily routine designed specifically for older adults to rebuild muscle, boost balance, and protect independence. Step 1. Prime your body 2 to 3 minutes. Before strength comes stability. You need to wake up your nervous system, activate your joints, and get your blood flowing, gently. March in place, 30 seconds. Keep your spine tall, arms swinging, arm circles, 30 seconds forward, 30 seconds backward. Loosen shoulders and stimulate circulation. Wall-assisted heel raises, 10 to 15 reps, strengthens calves and ankle control. Seated leg extensions, 10 per leg, preps your knees and quads. These small movements unlock your body and set the foundation for safe, powerful movement. Step 2. Master the big 3 movement patterns, 6 to 7 minutes. Instead of chasing dozens of exercises, focus on 3 that mimic real-life function and stimulate the major muscle groups. Chair squats, legs, core balance. Sit in a sturdy chair. Stand up slowly, then lower back down with control. Start with 8 to 10 reps. Too easy. Hold light weights, water bottles, or increase reps. Pro tip: slow down the lowering phase. It builds more strength. Wall. Push-ups. Chest, shoulders, arms. Face a wall. Hands shoulder width apart. Lower your chest toward the wall, then push back. Start with 8 to 10 reps. As you improve, move to counter height push-ups. Pro tip: keep your core engaged. This doubles as a core exercise. Seated resistance, band rows, back posture. Wrap a band around your feet. Pull toward your waist, squeeze shoulder blades together, release slowly. No band. Use a towel and mimic the motion. Pro tip: keep your spine tall. Posture matters just as much as strength. Step 3. Train to fatigue, not pain. Aim for 2 rounds of each exercise, 3 days a week. Stop when your form starts to break down. That's your good fatigue. It might be 6 reps or 16. It's not the number. It's the challenge that counts. Step 4. Track progress, not perfection. Jot down what you did, how many reps, how you felt, and any improvements. Seeing your own momentum builds motivation. It tells your brain, this habit matters. Step 5. Recover, like it's part of the workout afterward. Hydrate. Then fuel recovery with 25 to 30 grams of protein. Eggs, yogurt, lentils, or a smoothie. Once or twice a week, add light walking or stretching to enhance blood flow and reduce soreness. You don't need hours. You just need intention. With 10 focused minutes a day, you can protect your independence, rebuild lost strength, and feel decades younger. Your muscles are waiting for a reason to grow. This blueprint is how you give them one. 3 bonus habits to accelerate results. Your 10-minute strength habit is the foundation. But what if you could double the benefits without doubling the effort? That's where amplifiers come in. These are simple, science-backed habits that enhance muscle recovery, reduce inflammation, and supercharge your results. And the best part, you don't need supplements, gadgets, or extreme changes. Just smart adjustments that work with your body, not against it. Here are 3 powerful habits you can add to your weekly routine to accelerate strength, healing, and resilience, no matter your age. 1. Heat exposure, the muscle recovery booster. You've probably heard that heat relaxes muscles. But did you know it also triggers the release of heat shock proteins, HSPS, molecules that help repair damaged cells and protect existing muscle fibers? Studies from Finland found that seniors who use saunas 4 to 7 times a week had 40% less muscle loss compared to those who didn't. Don't have a sauna? No problem. Try these accessible options. Take a warm bath for 10 to 15 minutes after strength training. Use a heated blanket or pad on sore areas post-exercise. Enjoy hot showers and end with light stretching. Even modest heat exposure a few times a week can enhance circulation, ease joint stiffness, and speed muscle repair. 2. Time-restricted eating. Reset your recovery window. What if when you eat matters just as much as what you eat? That's the idea behind intermittent fasting, particularly time-restricted eating, TRE. Consuming all meals within an 8 to 10 hour window, like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Why it works. TRE boosts autophagy, your body's internal cleanup system. It improves insulin sensitivity and hormone regulation, both critical for older adults. It enhances muscle mitochondrial function, giving your cells more energy to grow and recover. And you don't have to starve. Just set a consistent eating window and give your digestive system a true break each evening. Start small. Finish dinner by 6:30 p.m. Delay breakfast until 9:30 or 10 a.m. Drink water, herbal tea, or black coffee outside your eating hours. Your body will thank you with better sleep, faster recovery, and more sustained energy during workouts. 3. Cold bursts. Reset inflammation. Wake up. Your system cold might sound like the opposite of helpful, but brief exposure to cold actually boosts resilience. It stimulates circulation, reduces post-exercise inflammation, and activates the nervous system in a way that sharpens focus and speeds recovery. Simple ways to get started. End your morning shower with 30 seconds of cold water. Place a cold washcloth on your neck or wrists post-workout. Take a cool outdoor walk early in the morning to gently expose your body to lower temps. These brief, cold bursts serve as microstressors that tell your body, adapt, repair, grow stronger. You don't need to do all three at once. Just pick one to start with. Add it 2 to 3 times a week alongside your strength habit, and notice how your body responds. The key isn't doing more, it's doing smarter. Your results don't just come from movement. They come from recovery, timing, and intention. These amplifiers are how you give your muscles and your life a second wind. One habit can reverse a decade of loss. You may have spent years watching your strength fade, thinking it was just aging. But now you know the truth. Muscle loss isn't permanent, and it's not your destiny. It's a signal, a message from your body asking for activation, not resignation. And here's the powerful part. Just one consistent habit can reverse what a decade of inactivity has taken. With only 10 focused minutes a day, you can rebuild muscle, sharpen balance, and reclaim independence. That's not theory. That's biology backed by science. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Your body is still listening. So ask yourself, what message will you send today? Will you say, I'm done? Or will you say, I'm ready to grow again? Because it's never too late to get stronger. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start with one habit, one movement, one decision, one shift in routine. Try a chair squat, a short wall push-up, or set your eating window. Then tell us in the comments, what will your one habit be? We're here, cheering you on, one rep at a time.